Sirajul Islam. I am originally from Myanmar, where I was born, where my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents were also born. But I was unfortunate that we were denied our right to citizenship and our human rights. And we have been oppressed, persecuted since 1962. And like we have experienced several episodes of displacement to like neighboring Bangladesh and other South Asian countries like Indonesia, Thailand, Nepal, Malaysia. So in August 2017, we faced the largest ever exodus, and like almost 1 million Rohingya people were forced to flee to neighboring Bangladesh, and like the crackdown was classified as a genocide by the United Nations and other world experts. And I am currently based in Bazar Rohingya refugee camp in Bangladesh, which is home to 1 million plus Rohingya refugees.
So just we can understand a little better. I mean, you left Myanmar. It was in 2017.
Yeah, in August 2017.
And how was the whole like process? Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, it was kind of like the military suddenly started operation like burning homes and villages, like killing people, mass killings and raping women and killing children and including girls. So like becoming a refugee to Bangladesh, it was like consequence of the violence committed by the Myanmar military.
So, like, and it was just yourself, your family. How many?
Yeah, I fled along with my family and over 700,000 people. We were in my family. We were one sister and two brothers, and my parents as well.
And like, can you talk a little bit about like the origin of your people and the origin of the whole like conflict, the genocide and all that?
Yeah, we have been living for a generation in Myanmar, but the Myanmar government deny us our right to citizenship, and they call us illegal immigrant. But they call us illegal immigrant, but they cannot prove that we are illegal immigrant, because when they call us illegal immigrant, but they cannot describe when we entered illegally to Myanmar. My parents, my great-grandparents, my grandparents, and I was born there. So who wasn't born there? We like every generation of like my descendant, my ancestors were also born there, but they deny our right to citizenship. So it was like a deliberate denial to our citizenship. So in Myanmar in 1982, like there was a citizenship act enacted by the Myanmar military to exclude like minority ethnic groups like us. So 1982 Citizenship Act deny us our right to citizenship, and it was a strategic plan to commit a genocide against us that Myanmar government has been planning to commit a genocide against us. It is not like that it suddenly happened. It has suddenly been committed by the Myanmar military in 2017. It took a long time to carry a genocide against us. So the genocide basically started in 1962. Like racism against the Rohingya minority ethnic groups started since 1962, and our people were initially forced to flee in 1978, and again in 1991, and in 2012, and in 2016, and in 2017 finally. And after the genocide in 2017, the genocide has not been stopped. The genocide is still ongoing inside Arkan state. So, as there is an armed group called Arkan Army, it is an ethnic armed organization which claim themselves fighting for resistance, fighting for federal state. But when it comes to Rohingya people, they are the same perpetrators like military junta. So the genocide again started in 2024, early 2024. It is still ongoing. Around 180,000 Rohingya people has been forced to flee to Bangladesh again since early 2024.
Can you talk about how it was like the living conditions when you were growing up? If you understood that as an apartheid system and things like that?
Yeah, it was an apartheid system. It was racism. It was also kind of a religious discrimination. It is what is called ethno-religious discrimination, which is basically focusing on religion. There are other ethnic groups as well, like Hindu, Buddhist, Chakma. So they are Buddhist and Hindu. They believe in Hindu, and so we were basically discriminated just because we are originally Muslim.
But so
hearing the reports of Amnesty International and United Nations, and hear you now, I keep on doubt about the origins of the community. The Rohingya is from Myanmar or the neighboring country?
Sorry, I didn't quite get it. Or
he just wants to know if the Rohingya they are from Myanmar or from a neighbor country.
We are originally from Myanmar, of course. We are originally from Myanmar.
From Myanmar.
Yeah.
Yes,
There is a quote like Rohingya never came to Burma, but Burma came to Rohingya.
I see. Okay, I understood. So they were always there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We are originally from Arkan state, so we say that there is no Arkan without Rohingya. If there is Arkan, then it should belong to Rohingya. There cannot be Arkan without Rohingya.
I see. Okay. So in the after you had to left Myanmar, how did your life change?
In Bangladesh.
Yes, you are in yes, you are in Bangladesh now, but how much did your life change? I mean, how it is life in exile?
Yeah. Nothing has been changed, but it wasn't. It has been exacerbated more than before. When in my childhood, I wanted to be a doctor when I was studying in Myanmar. But in Myanmar, we were denied our access to higher education. The Rohingya students were only allowed to complete secondary education. So after finishing secondary education, we are not allowed to go to university in Myanmar. But even though I know that we were not allowed to go to university, I kept holding on to my dream that I wanted to become a doctor. But I was unfortunate that I was forced to flee when I was studying in grade 9. So I couldn't even finish my secondary education, which I hope I could, of course, complete, because the Rohingya were able to finish until secondary education. But I was forced to flee before I could finish my secondary education. And I became a refugee in Bangladesh. So in the camp in Bangladesh, we are not allowed to attend national school in Bangladesh. So initially there were some some informal school where a student can learn like some basic word A, B, C, D, and some words like some words of fruits initially. But later there has been some initiative which is providing education until secondary education. But I couldn't go to a school again because I needed to work for my family. I have been working as a volunteer, like to earn some money to support my family. So my dream remains a dream. I want to go to university, but no Rohingya are allowed to attend university in Bangladesh. And yeah, life is like a mystery as a refugee in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is not responsible to provide refugee rights because it is not a signatory to 1951 Refugee Convention and its protocol in 1967.
I see. So just so I don't know if I heard you right. In Myanmar, you cannot. You are forbidden to attend university. Is that right?
Yeah. This is only for the Rohingya. But other, for example, I was studying with a student from among other ethnic groups like Rakhine and other from Buddhist, Burmese. But once they finish their secondary education, they can go to university. But as a Rohingya student, I cannot.
And I mean, I saw that you were you founded like this group, this organization, right? Can you talk about your group a little bit? What you guys do? How do you organize yourselves?
Yeah. Since I became a refugee, I have been working as an advocate, as a human rights activist, and I also write poetry to highlight our struggles, our suffering on the global stage. But I was like working individually. So an idea came to my mind in early 2023. It would be better if I take a collective efforts, a collective initiative, so that it will be more effective if we work collectively. So I established the organization on 7th March 2023. Like my mission to establish the organization was to rebuild and uplift the Rohingya community, the Rohingya refugee community here in Bazar, who have been denied their access to education, like to empowerment, to like peace building activities. There's no such activities. So my mission was to do as much as we can within our resource to empower, to rebuild, and to uplift our community through education, through peace building education, human rights education, and also like advocating for our rights that we have been denied for decades.
And how do you get support for your organization? I mean, the Bangladesh government helps. How it works?
We have very little resource. We are all working voluntarily. We are like our organization is like for the community by the community. So we are mostly on voluntary basis. But in Bangladesh government doesn't support us, and we are not like we are working independently. I cannot register it because in Bangladesh no refugee can register. No refugee-led organization cannot be registered according to Bangladesh law. So like we kind of receive some support from international donors. From like they are supporting us with very little resources. So we can purchase some equipment, some like books to provide to our students. But we are working voluntarily. So we have very little support. This is not like an international organization like working with a big amount of fund.
My phone is with problem. Maybe I didn't hear you well, but if you already talk about that, ignore. But if not, I want to know better how is the Bangladesh politics for refugees? How the government have or don't have politics to receive you?
Yeah, thank you. In Bangladesh, first of all, if you are willing to help the Rohingya resolve their crisis, like to ensure an ultimate solution to the Rohingya crisis, we first need to understand that the Rohingya crisis is both a political and humanitarian crisis. But in Bangladesh, the Rohingya crisis is mostly addressed as a humanitarian crisis. So Bangladesh interest is mostly in humanitarian activities. So Bangladesh recently, as Nobel laureate Dr. Muhammad Yunus, who is also a peace laureate, he became the chief advisor of the interim government after the outcast of the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and she has been drawing much attention from the international community to help resolve the Rohingya crisis. But in short, in Bangladesh, Bangladesh is not kind of trying to help the Rohingya resolve the crisis, because if you are actually trying the Rohingya crisis, you need to understand that the Rohingya play the most vital role in resolving in finding an ultimate solution, a final solution to the crisis. But we do not have any access to decision making. We do not have a space on the table. Like experts are discussing on their side, we are stuck inside the camp. So we do not have the right to decision making processes. We do not have the right to we do not have the opportunity to engage in political discussion. We do not have the access to the opportunity to talk with world leaders, to directly discuss with world leaders.
And just so, how many people are there in your camp?
Yeah, a total of 33 camps in Bazar. In my camp, there are over 50,000 people, but across the camp, there are over 1 million Rohingya refugees.
1 million?
Over 1 million.
Over 1 million. And how I don't know, but the living conditions, how it is?
The living condition is beyond words. It is very dire. We are dependent on only $12 of rations per month, but sometimes it decreases. When the World Food Program (WFP) face funding shortage, we receive $10 of food per month per person. So that is the only support. That is the only kind of food we are dependent for the whole month.
I see. So just you are also I saw, and you mentioned before, you also you write poetry. Is that right?
Yeah.
What is your poetry about?
My poetry is about, in short, it is about resilience, resistance, and existence. Despite the dire living conditions here, we are sustaining, we are upholding resilience, and we are resisting uncertainty, hopelessness. We have no hope. We are holding on a false hope. there's not a deadline. There's no deadline that when we are going back home, when we are like going to enjoy the human rights we deserve. So we are holding on false hope, but still we are holding on resilience. And my poetry is also about existence, about identity.
I see.
Can you show us your preferred one? If you could recite some poets, maybe we show to the people in the exposition.
Yeah, I can send you some poems, and I have also internationally published 2 collections of poetry, which are available on Amazon.
Oh, you have a collection published?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Oh, that's interesting. I'll check later. So,
2 collections. I'll send you the link to my books.
oh, please send. So, do you have, just so we can, do you have any, what are like your hopes and for the future? And you look forward to return to Myanmar one day? Or how do you think about this?
Of course, yeah. Our hope is to return to our homeland. Our hope is a sustainable return, voluntary return with our rights and dignity and security to our homeland, of course. But the ultimate solution, the final solution to our crisis is as far away as ever. There is no there is no reasonable hope we can hold on, because there is not a deadline. We cannot. There is not any specific hope we can hold on, because it has been over 8 years we have been living here. We have been surviving here, but there's no development to the final solution to our crisis. But still, we are holding on to hope that we can return one day to our homeland